Today is a very special day, and I am not the only one giving the message today. That's what I'm so very excited about. We've been talking about new growth in the center and where it is that we want to go and what do we want to see and how are we going to get there and what are all of our resources. And I've skimmed on a lot of those things. Today I'm going to talk about the greatest resource that we have at this center, and that is the people that are right here, our members. There is a group of members at this center who really go above and beyond. You know, there are people that come on Sunday, and I love all of you. Your presence is invaluable to me and to all of us. And I know that you are all out there doing wonderful things in the world. But there's a handful of people here that spend not only their time, and I'm talking a lot of time, hours, countless hours here, and they're giving of their talents, and they're also giving of their money to help keep the center grow and to expand and to do the work that it is that we're here to do. And so some of those people are going to come up here and talk about the different areas of our church, the different departments, and different opportunities that we all have to step up and serve so that we can do the work that we do that much better. As I was asking them, and inviting you all to be members and to step in, I asked our core council and our really heavy-duty volunteers to tell me what are the perks of being a volunteer here and what are the perks of membership at OakBrook. Thinking, you know, that I would offer them to the rest of you and say, come to OakBrook because you'll get a 10% discount at the bookstore. Or you get to rent the building at a discount when you have a wedding or you have a big party. And those are wonderful perks to have. But the more we talked, the more apparent it became that the perks of membership here at OakBrook had nothing to do with anything tangible in that way. The perks of being part of OakBrook are the gifts that come when we serve. When we give of ourselves and we plant seeds, the bounty that comes back, it's just like planting a plant. You plant one tomato seed, and what do you get back? Anybody do any gardening? You get bushels, bunches of tomatoes and things that come back to you. You think you're doing something for someone else, but what comes back to you is immeasurable. Immeasurable. And so I invite each of the members, everyone that I'm going to call up here, to share with you why it is that they do what they do, what are they doing at the center, and they are going to offer you opportunities to step in and serve. So I will tell you another thing about this group of people. They are outstanding people, and they're lots of fun. And you will see that. I'm sure you will see that in the personalities as they come up. So the first person who's going to talk to you is Gail Deckent. Gail, would you stand? Give her a round. Gail is the president of our core council. She is also a member of our pastoral care ministry, and she is also the lead person of our welcome team. But beyond that, Gail is an inspiration to me. That's why the tears have been flowing since this morning. I told him it's going to be a love fest, a total love fest this morning. Gail, just an inspiration to me. Huge heart, great mind. She is a woman who gets things done. She has energy that runs circles around people half her age. And does she? Yes, she does. And she teaches yoga on top of everything else. And as a Toastmaster, I could go on, but I'm going to let Gail, come on, Gail, come on down. And tell this congregation what all you do and how they can help out. In the mic.
Okay, Cindy, that was not a good come on. You know, someone said to me recently that their tears have been coming more often, and I said, yeah, you know, that happens. The more we grow spiritually, the more attuned we become to spirit, the more that it comes to the surface, and it's tears of joy that flow through us and from us. I have had the honor and the privilege to sit in the Leadership Council for almost 3 years. However, because my talk time is limited this morning, I cannot tell you all the wonderful things, the benefits that this experience has brought into my life. The incredible opportunity of working closely with two very, very powerful, creative, dedicated women has shown me some things I did not know about myself. And that's one of the joys as you step forward and offer whatever it is you bring. We need it. We want it. And as you bring those gifts, oh, so much more is given back to you. I just keep going over that verse that says, heaped up, pressed down, and overflowing. You know, if you really want the joy of growing spiritually, get involved. Join us. You have the opportunity then to not only grow beyond what you even know, but you get the opportunity to watch others grow. Get involved. Your OakBrook family needs you. And as with any family, the time we spend together working and playing, the deeper grows our heart bond. Trust me. You've heard that before, trust me. Mm-hmm. But there is so much more than Sunday morning. Come check it out.
That is Gail, our Leadership Council President. The next person I'm going to call up here is Reverend Gail Reuter. Reverend Gail came to us out of retirement, and not a moment too soon. As my mentor was preparing to retire and make her transition into a new life, Reverend Gail came in just in time. She has a dedication to this movement, to this teaching, but also to our center. She is a woman of great knowledge and great experience that I lean on, and I'm so excited to have someone here who has actually built a center and grown centers and been part of some of the larger centers in our movement, and to have all of that experience here for our benefit is phenomenal. I don't need this mic, I'm on one. Anyway, join me in welcoming Reverend Gail.
So retirement is a myth. If you're on the spiritual path, truly it's a myth. Spirit always knows the next step for you. I tried to be retired for a whole year, and I couldn't stand myself. And then I said, you know, I used to go up to OakBrook when my folks were alive. I was here when it was still a study group. I better go up there and find out what they're up to. I didn't even get to church before Peggy dragged me to an ordination. So I am sure that any of you that want to be a part of this, there is this huge place just waiting for you. You know, I'm doing pastoral care, and I have a vision for pastoral care. And that is that every single person who comes here will feel touched by Spirit through one of us. I do not think pastoral care is about only ministers. I don't think it's about only practitioners. I think it's about every single person. And I'm excited that we're moving toward a model that might include that, where all of us can belong to each other and care for each other in ways that maybe we don't know. We need people to visit people. We need people to call people. Cindy had a divine download a couple weeks ago. So now when you fill out your prayer request, please put your phone number on it. We have a spiritual surprise for you. So if you're interested in any kind of all of the things I'm talking about, the pastoral care, if you're available to visit somebody, if you're available to make a phone call, please come and see me. We have more than enough room for everyone. So with that, I have one mention for the classes, probably a big mention since all of you have been waiting for classes. We'll start classes in the fall, yes. And the first class I'll teach is treatment and meditation, which lots and lots of people have asked for. So be aware, here it comes. Cindy has a wonderful plan for 3 years that will just unfold for all of us spiritually. And we're hoping to start practitioner training in January. Yes.
Yes, yay. I'd like to also bring attention to the fact that our pastoral care minister, Reverend Vicky, who's been with us for, 20 years, as long as Reverend Peggy served, is at Palm Gardens Rehab Facility. And she's made many, many visits to those of us in the congregation when times were difficult, for people who were in the hospital, for people who were lost loved ones, all kinds of the tragedies, the things that happen when you're in community with other people. And Reverend Vicky has spent a lot of time with us, so I'm sure she would love visits from the congregation. Just stop on by, give her a call, just let her know you love her. Reverend Gail has the address. All right. The next person, where is Shanna? There she is. Come on down, Shanna. Shanna Holloway is one of those people who puts in those hours and hours and hours and hours. Everything you see that's printed is here courtesy of Shanna. Shanna comes on Saturdays. Whenever she's not working, it seems like she's here. They're doing PowerPoint. She does music. She is just a love, and she is incredibly, incredibly competent. You give Shanna something to do, and she not only gets it done, but she gets it done even better than you ever thought she would have. And she just takes the bull by the horns and goes for it. And so I just love her tremendously. Welcome, Shanna.
She's gonna make me cry. Alrighty, so I'm here to talk about 3 things, hopefully very quickly. First up, I am in charge of the administrative team. It's the bulletins, everything Cindy just mentioned, all the printing and everything, but there's so much more that goes along with that. There's answering phones, and people call and, can y'all do this, and do you do that, and where are you located again, and how do I find you? And so there's all kinds of questions that get answered. Which is cool, because the way I found OakBrook was through Angel and taking a class with her outside of the church, and then I came in and got welcomed by people and was in the choir within the first day, and it's just, lots of interesting ways to connect. And so the administrative team sometimes is that first person that you connect with is something that we would touch. I need people that can answer phones. I need people that can answer questions. I need people that like to type. I need people that like to print. There's all kinds of needs, and you might not even realize that you enjoy doing something that could translate into spending a day helping out in the office. The other thing that I help with is the event team. And we're the people that help put on the weddings and the parties and the baby showers and the graduations and everything else that goes on around here. We're the people behind the scenes when church isn't going on that get things set up. So I need people that can decorate and organize and create, and especially think outside the box, because you never know what's going to show up during an event that we've never had to try before. And we have to go, oh gosh, how can we do that? So I need those kind of people. There's going to be an informational small session next week during brunch. I will have a sheet of paper detailing it if you can't sit at the table and don't want to discuss and you just want to look at what's needed. The other thing that I need to say really quickly is I am also the youth choir director, and the youth choir is going to start back up in October. I am going to have a meeting for the parents and the youth the first Saturday in October, which is the 3rd at noon. Please come so we can figure out when practices are, and I can let you know about the 2 amazing performances that we're going to do at the end of the semester. Thank you.
Shanna is part of one half of one of the dynamic duos that we have. I'm on the mic again. We have several dynamic duos at OakBrook, and Shanna is half of one. The other half, where is her other half? Come here, Brian. Here he is. Come on, Brian. Brian is the other half of that dynamic duo. Give Brian a big hand. Well, Brian likes to stay in the background. He likes to stay in his corner. But service, a lot of things around here wouldn't get done if it wasn't for Brian. Putting together a Sunday service is a team effort, and Brian's expertise is one of the things that helps that happen. And that and so much more. I asked Brian for something. I said, wow, wouldn't it be nice to have lights in behind the stage, right? The next day, they're here. So wouldn't it be nice to try this the next day or even that afternoon? It's here. He makes things happen. He loves this place. He has a dedication that is just incredible. And I am just I feel very blessed. And I hope you do too.
It's hard to mute it when I'm up here. All right. I am a man of very few words, as most of y'all actually know. But when I talk way too much. So they limit me to 2 minutes, tell me green, red. I'm yet colorblind, so I don't know. What I do, I think I started 3 years ago. Donna talked to Shanna. They wanted a sound guy who knew more than just push a button. It's been an interesting 3 years. The place did not burn down. For the first 6 months of the conversation, I did think that was going to happen. Fortunately it didn't. I did give up my Sunday football. Oh well, it happens. But what I do because I do love the place. I remember first coming here, and I could probably fit y'all throughout the entire thing. Mm-hmm. So I love the fact that it is like this now. I also know it's going to get a lot bigger. I like people who like technology. When I started, we had a soundboard and a pod mic and some really bad wireless mics. Since then, we've got 9 stage mics. In the 3 years, we've had 4 computers, new camera, control all the lights in here by a touch of a button.
Wow.
Oh, love it. Like Cindy said, she asked me Thursday about the lights. I pulled her out of the office Friday and said, here you go. Changed the lights in the bathroom. Most of y'all probably haven't even noticed that yet this morning. So I just want people who want to have fun. You don't have to love the technology or even know how to turn it on or off. I'll teach you that part. Mm-hmm. That's easy. Bye. This mic works.
Yes, it does. Brian didn't tell you that he also cleans the facility. He's also mowing the lawn out front. He's a jack of all trades. He does a little bit of everything. There's a lot. And he caters and he cooks when we have our breakfasts, when we have our special lunch. And by the way, we're not having lunch today. Yes, he's also been helping to take care of Reverend Vicky. So just kudos to Brian. Let's give him another big hand. So appreciate. Okay. And I hope you all are thinking about your own personal interests and your talents and what you're good at and how that can plug in to some of the areas of need that where we can actually grow this center and really get it to the next level. It's not going to happen with the handful of people that are doing it now. Okay, there is room for everyone. We have another dynamic duo. The first half is going to come speak now. That is Lita Perez Castillo. Lita is the vice president of our core council. Lita is our bookstore manager. Lita, another one of those jack of all trades. She's the networking guru. If you want to meet people, know people, get hooked in to the community, Lita is your go-to person. And she has to be one of the most generous people I have ever met. And I'm going to let Lita tell you why those books are on your chairs. But come on, Lita. Thank you so much for who you are and all you do. And tremendous vision that she has for this center. So, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful to see all of you here today. I really appreciate seeing these seats so full. I mean, it just really does my heart good. I am the bookstore manager, and Cindy and I just got together this past week and talked about something that we can do for our community. The books that you see on your seat are a gift from us. We ask that you take those even if you already have them, and if you do, that you share your wealth from us, that you give it to someone who's standing on the corner and asking for something else, that you give it to your friend, your colleague, whoever it is, that if it's already been in your hands, that you pass it on. I will also tell you that right after service, you are allowed to go into the bookstore and pick an additional book, any book you wish, as an added gift for you. So you'll walk out of here with 2 books to inspire other people, for yourself, of course, and then anyone else that you want to give it to. What OakBrook has done for me is just amazing. I came into this new thought several years ago, and in getting married to the man of my dreams, he brought me to Ocala. I thought, Ocala. Okay. But I'll tell you what, the peace and the joy and the love that I felt coming here, and then to know that there was a Science of Mind church, I could not believe it. I encourage you to not just be a part of our community here, but to expand that outside of here, to share what you learn here and bring others with you. It is my honor and privilege to be a part of OakBrook, and to serve you is my goal, is my honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now you'll meet the man of Lita's dreams. Where is he, Rick? Rick Castillo. He is this big bear of a man with this tremendous smile that when I'm standing up here, and there are people that I key into in the audience because the energy that comes back to me fuels me. You know, I'm giving it out here and it comes back. And Rick is one of those people, when I see that smile, it just comes back to me, and it makes it flow that much more. So I thank you for who you are, and thank you for telling us about the welcome team and why you serve.
Good morning. Good morning. This morning when I woke up, my lovely wife had prepared for me my egg, my raisin toast, my coffee, and I worked late last night, so I was saying, I'm either going to walk the Green Mile or I'm going to speak to a big group of people. As Cindy mentioned, I'm going to talk about the welcome team, and I have nothing really prepared, so this is strictly straight from the heart. And I'm going to equate it to the first day that I came here. A number of people out in the audience right now were here the first day I came. And my wife from Orlando told me about the centers and said, I want you to come Sunday service. And of course I was very skeptical. And she dragged me. She literally dragged me here. So I came in that back door and I saw Donna, Norma, Cindy. They all came, hugged me. Susan, all hugged. Hello, how are you? Gail, wow, this is great. Women are beautiful. I like this place. And then Ron came and hugged me. I still came back anyway. But as Cindy mentioned, the smile. okay? And I mentioned this one time to Donna and Norman when we were eating dinner. When you come here and you sit down and you see the presentations, you hear the songs, you hear the discussions, you can't help but smile. And you're just sitting there and you're smiling. And even if you have a frown on your face when you walk in, all of a sudden you can feel it coming up, the smile. And being part of the Welcome Committee, I would like to think that I can give that smile. And it's been a pleasure and a joy to be involved with everybody here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. The Welcome Team is a great entry point for someone who is new to OakBrook because it's a way to get to meet other people and to pass along that welcome, as Rick said, to have other people feel good when they walk in the door here, because that's so important. That too. Now, I have a question for you. How many people in this center came from another faith tradition? Would you raise your hand? Everybody look around. Anybody came from another faith tradition? How many people were kind of born into this? Would you stand up, the ones that were kind of? Okay, notice the age of the people who came into this. You were Estridge, how phenomenal. That were born into this teaching. Look at the age, right? How many of you can sit down now, thank you. How many of you who came from someplace else wish you'd found this years ago when you were younger? What difference with knowing this, having this teaching, having this basis, this spiritual philosophy for how to live your life and how to think, what kind of a difference would that have made for you? Tremendous, right? Right, phenomenal. Children are our future. And if this, not just this center, but if our movement is going to grow the way that we think it can and make the difference that we hope and that we envision that it will make, we've got to have families here. You know, we've got to be teaching our kids. We have to give them opportunities. So our youth ministry, our youth department is one of the most important pieces of our center and looking forward to the growth of our church. Now, our youth department leader is not here this morning. He wasn't feeling well. Tad wasn't here. But I want to tell you that that is an area where there really is great opportunity for service. And it's, if you love kids, I mean, that's the place to be. If you have any interest whatsoever in children, because we think we're teaching. Again, it's like serving. You think you're doing for somebody else, but what you get back is so much more. Kids are way closer to the source. Like, they don't have all that stuff like the rest of us do that they have to release and let go of. You know, kids are like, they haven't been away from the light as long as some of us have. So it's a great way to feel rejuvenated and to learn and just get in touch with that fun side and who you really are. So I'm going to ask Reverend Gail to speak just a little bit about what Tad is doing with the children and what opportunities there may be to serve.
To answer the last thing first, there are enormous opportunities in the youth department. We are visioning that the youth department is really a three-pronged effort. We will have a space for our little people, you know, our little people, and then from kindergarten on through elementary school, that will be one section of the youth department, and then the high schoolers and beyond will be a third section. Yes. And for each group, we'll be doing some age-appropriate things. There'll be activities. I believe the first series we're going to use is called the 10 Core Concepts of Science of Mind, to give these children a real grounding in what we're teaching. Tad is going to, in particular, be in charge of the young people, high school and up. He has several wonderful things planned, as only Tad can plan them. And we need teachers. We're going to ask people who would be willing to teach once a month, so you're not going to be out of here all the time. We need people to help with the little ones. We need creative people to help us put curriculum together. We need people who, the kids have an altar in the back. You know, their room needs straightening up from time to time. We need help with everything. So if you would really think about that, it's an amazing thing to teach the kids. And we all do that, you know, one way or another. So we might as well step forth and say, okay, I'm going to do it formally. So thank you. And I'm sure Tad thanks you.
Thank you. All right. The other half of, is it our last dynamic? No, we have another dynamic duo. The Gail and Ron team. Ron, do you stand up? Ron is our new volunteer coordinator. And look, yeah. He's got this look like he likes to do, like he's this crusty kind of curmudgeon. But what all of that is it hides and it covers up the squishy, most wonderful, most loving heart that there is. I did. I know it already, so I figure he, you know, everybody knows it but you. You think you're hiding it, but he just opens my heart, and did I tell you I love these people? Yes. Thank you, Ron.
Well, actually, I am just the co-coordinator because Norma is the other co-coordinator. And I'm a little disturbed because the previous speakers have all stolen my thunder. But I was up till 2 o'clock this morning making this out, so you're going to get it anyway. During a turbulent period in my life some 26 years ago, when I was in the process of changing lives and didn't even know it, a friend invited me to attend church with her. I accepted and found myself the next Sunday in the Unity of Greenville Church in Dallas, Texas. Within a few minutes of entering that lovely little metaphysical church, founded in 1942, I was convicted, as they say, and the tears, even now, began to flow. Tears not from the anger, the resentment, and the fear that I was experiencing, rather tears of joy, because I had found home, and that's home with a capital H, if you get my drift. And I didn't even realize I was looking for that either. Since that time, I have visited dozens of Unity and Centers for Spiritual Living churches from sea to shining sea, as the song goes. And in every single one of them, I found home. And that's what I want every person that walks in the door to feel, that home. And that's why I became a member and continue to attend. And that's why I volunteer my time, my treasure, and my talents. Which brings me to what I came to you to talk about, volunteering. Your ministers can't do it all. Your leadership core council can't do it all. And so they have asked us, Norma and I, to a volunteer ministry to help them get it all done. Therefore, we invite you to join us and all the other folks who are already volunteering by answering the question, will you? Will you volunteer with a gigantic...
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right. All you have to do, my friend, is put your name right here.
Did I tell you our group was fun? We laugh a lot. We have a good time. All right, our last dynamic duo, the first half of our last dynamic duo, Norma Andrews. I love this story, so I'm going to tell it even though some of you have heard it. Norma is for me the face of God. You all have that friend that will tell you like it is? Everybody have that friend? If you don't, you should have one. I highly recommend it. that when I was going through a difficult time and I was ruminating in my mind, going over the problem over and over and over again, as we know we don't do that, right? But I was doing it. And I was praying, God, give me an answer, and would go over it again and pray some more and, go through that whole thing. And I finally sat and got quiet and did a meditation. And I don't even remember what the problem was anymore. But I put it out there again. God, just give me an answer. Just tell me what it is that I'm to do. And God shows up for me, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, as Norma. And tells me, if you would shut the up, you would hear what I have to say. Which, for anyone who knows Norma, knows that that's what she would say. So I got the message, I got quiet, and I got my answer, so much so that I don't even remember what the problem was. But in any case, that is Norma. Norma tells it like it is. Norma gets things done, and Norma has a deep love and commitment for this place. And I can't say enough about her. Love Fest, love you, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Cindy.
This woman walks her talk.
Well, she didn't tell you why I'm up here, so I will. I am the treasurer here at OakBrook, and I think I'm decided to talk about prosperity, because the prosperity of the center is the prosperity of each of us as individuals. And everyone reminisces back to when they first started coming to OakBrook, and I remember when Donna dragged me here. And I would sit and I just watch people and whatever, and I figure out who and what everything is before I jump in. Donna's always feet first, and I want to be a part of everything, and I'm like, let me check this place out. Well, anyway, got kind of dragged in at that point to helping with QuickBooks and whatever, so that kind of got me to knowing people and whatever. So volunteering does get you acquainted with the people in the center, so I will say that to begin with. And I've been a part of other organizations, and then I come to OakBrook, and it was just so warm and welcoming. And they would tell us about the spiritual principles of visioning and tithing and whatever. And when I first came, we'd basket would pass, and I'd throw our $20 in there, figuring, okay, I gave my gift for the season or the week or whatever. And then after taking classes and realizing that what we give comes back multiplied, and that is so true, because we were squeaking by in a little tiny mobile home and not making much and whatever, and then we actually started the true tithing, giving the 10% of what we have, and our life has just been flourishing. And the center, because of each of us giving our true tithe, we say we love this space and we love this center, but look, it's full. We need bigger. We need more. So we need everyone to buckle down, do the meditation, get rid of the fear behind tithing, because that's what a lot of the problem is with a lot of people is fear. I need to pay a bill. I got to do this. It'll all come back to you. Your bills will be paid. So tithe, join the volunteers, get involved with OakBrook, and help us grow.
Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Norma. And our last presenter for today, Ms. Donna Andrus. Stand here. And doesn't she look gorgeous? Yes. I can go on and on about Donna, about Donna's energy, about Donna's sunshine, who she is, and how she inspires and just lights up a room from when she walks in the door. It's the smile. We're seeing a minister in training. I'm just gonna put that out there to everybody. Hold that light for Donna, for who she is, because she has the heart, she has the consciousness, she has the vision, and she certainly has the ability. And so I thank you for all of who you are, and all of your talent, and all of your enthusiasm, and just everything you bring to the center. She and Norma came in here like a hurricane. Who was it that said that? That's Cheryl. Cheryl Smouse said they came in here like a hurricane and changed up everything. And it's been just wonderful. So give her some love.
Thank you, everybody. So Cindy asked me to talk about what got me here and why I do what I do here. When I first came to this center, the audience was very different. There were no people of color here except for Cindy. And there was not a whole lot of children. Susan and Rick had their boys here. And yeah, that was pretty much it, you know? Now, I want you to imagine my son Emmanuel. All that energy. When he was at school, everybody told me to medicate my son. He has ADHD, he is bipolar, medicate your child. He is so creative and wonderful. Alore, same thing. Her kindergarten teacher called me and told me, your child is too happy. She is disturbing the class because she's dancing around like a princess. I'm a princess, I'm a princess. Medicate your child. I was devastated when I came here. You're so used to having to shush your baby in regular church. Shh, sit down, be quiet. Don't look over there. Don't pick your nose. Sit down, be quiet. That's all that you do. And I thought this is what I had to do when I came here. Reverend Peggy pulled me aside and she said, Donna, the enthusiasm of your children is wonderful. And then she says to me, ADHD always dialed into a higher dimension. And so that's what I use with my son now. I say to him, honey, I'm not resonating up here with you. Can you click it down a few notches? And he does. He goes, okay, mom, click, 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 click. Okay. I'm like, okay, now I'm here. This is what this center does. It heals people. I have not medicated my children since. The creativity of my child was squashed. I had a zombie walking around on medication, but now he walks in and he says, I am here, you may rejoice. Y'all remember that? Every time he says, I want to say something, I'm scared because it could be anything. So music ministry is this. That infectious part of you that goes out and multiplies. It moves you in such a way that you don't have to know what the people are going through. They just explode on the inside. That's what music does. And how we can help is come. Because musicians and singers need an audience. Without you, what are we doing up here, right? Exactly. That's how you can help. And if you love to sing and love music, then come see me. I'm getting the flag and the hook. Thank you, everybody.
I'm so proud of my crew. We 2 minutes, I told them, 2 minutes. So they all stuck pretty well to it, except for me, I think. I would like to bring your attention to the quotes and the affirmation inside of your program. And I don't always do that, but I spend a lot of time finding these quotes. Martin Luther King said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb tense agree. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. And then Gandhi said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And if you ever receive an email from Lita, you will see that that is her tagline. These people walk their talk. We are living what we're speaking from. So if you would now join me in our affirmation. It's in your program. My heart is full of grace. My soul is generated by love. I am grateful for the time, talent, and treasure shared by all those who serve OakBrook. Their service is a blessing to me, our center, and the world. And so it is, and so it is. Music, so it is. Give everyone a big hand.